Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Good evening. Good evening.
Rod, I don't know if you saw what the boss sent down, but the motto for the show apparently is "Why be moody when you can shake your booty?"
Your booty. Oh my god.
I mean, look, we just do whatever. What is it like? Anchorman. We just do whatever the teleprompter says. Whatever it says, we just read it off. So
and that scene where the teleprompter broke down and they were like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" Yeah.
That is it. Let's say hello to everybody for the night. What's up, Cat? Roll Tide.
Evening, Cat.
Lady Alpha and the Alpha Pools.
Thank you for joining us.
Cat's son has new glasses. I don't know if we should post that or not, so we'll just keep that as a surprise.
Yeah, he'll let us know when it's time to do that.
Yeah. Pretty much the star of the show. And thank you for this.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the bourbon or just the Saturday night show in general, but we got 5 more people join just from that show.
Just from the Saturday night show, yes.
Unhinged Saturday night show. If you're bored or if you just want a good time, you always look out for that. This Saturday will be at a different time because we're not sure. First off, we're hoping Alabama plays. So let's just start there. And then if they play, we're going to work around that game. But Way Offsides, Jeff is joining us.
Yes. Shout out to Way Offsides, the whole crew. We're assuming after we win Thursday that it'll be Saturday night at some time. We just don't know if it's going to be 6-10, if it's the second game, third game. We have no idea, so we'll figure that out.
But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves for sure. So we'll be focusing on Thursday for sure.
Yep.
What's up, Carol? How are you doing tonight? I don't know if I missed the regular, but Carol, our favorite Georgia Bulldog fan, always stops in there. Good wrestling fan too as well. And then one of our newest guys. What's up, Kyle? How are you doing, man?
Thank you for joining us, sir. Loyal supporter. We appreciate you, man.
Sure. Kyle has suffered through our Saturday night shows too, and maybe had a drink or two as well with us on.
Yeah, he's having fun.
What's up, Randy? I know, Randy. We gonna throw in some football here.
Shout out to Randy
for the last half of the show, just to try and keep you in shit. But man, we appreciate you at least clicking on one of our biggest supporters. So we appreciate you, man. And where's somebody was here? I think that was just I think Georgia basketball still trending in the right direction. But you guys I was disappointed in how that game started.
Because it was at one point it was like 24-25-3. I was like,
yes, 20 got up to 27-3. Yeah, that was my only problem. I wasn't upset at them losing, but like she just said, they didn't show. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. You can't start off a game like getting 6-7 minutes in 3 points. So. Program's definitely headed in the right direction, but you see the SEC is about to get real tough, or not is real tough in basketball.
It is real tough, yeah.
So I don't know if Kyle's asking if Randy's cool. Yes, Randy's cool.
I think he was, because this is the first time Kyle and Randy have been here together.
Yes.
Randy is 100% cool.
Yeah, definitely, Kyle. He's been one of our biggest supporters, not just on here, but behind the scenes. Sometimes a lot of the stuff that you guys see has been a matter of him helping us get more focused on what we were doing. So definitely shout out to him. So she said that was her motto. Oh, is that where we heard that from? Oh, it just came to mind. So
hold on right quick. Let me get a little pendiculation in. I had to stretch a little bit. Go ahead.
You stopped us for that?
Yes, really? I did.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. And there's our boy. What's up, Big Mike?
Big Mike.
Mike does his wrestling show 8:00 Central Standard Time on Thursday nights. WrestleMania is coming up. On the 5th, 12th, 19th?
19th, I think.
19th, 19th and 20th that weekend. Yes, because we are trying to get together on the 12th to do a show together.
Yeah.
But there was something else that Mike and I talked about might be happening on the 12th. We might get together on 13th. But we're trying to get together. Mike is going to educate us on WrestleMania. Raj and I we watched the PLEs, which were pay-per-views to me, and I still call them that in my head. I have to think about it.
Same here.
Yep. But we always support Mike's channel, man. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna check out some stuff with us, and he's gonna help us.
Yeah, we watched the Royal Rumble and then we watched the Elimination Chamber. So WrestleMania is next on the agenda for us regarding the PLE. So try to get a little info in there before the matchup, so we kind of know what we're talking about.
Yes.
But hey, here to support.
It's sad. Mike was over here 2 hours ago, and we talked about why we couldn't do it on the 12th, and I've already forgotten. Oh, 8A game. I'm sorry. I'm so sad. Mike's probably already posted. I haven't gotten down to the bottom of the comments. So Mike and I are going to A-Day or whatever's left of A-Day at that point.
Yeah.
And we know the Bama Standard will be there, and they're going to have some content that night. So Raj and I are going to try and work around them. So we will try to have a Saturday show that's based more on A-Day and what's going on there. But you know how Saturday shows go. So,
yeah.
You know, we started. What did we start off this? Yeah. Well, what did we start off this last week? Was it basketball?
We always start off with basketball, but then we just kind of rambled on and we started talking about the dream team, and we started talking about LeBron and Jordan and top fives and some other stuff, and basketball was the main focus for this past Saturday. But we were on for a little over an hour, which was our longest time for our Saturday night show.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, we always thought that our Saturday night show would be around 30 minutes, which it had in previous weeks, but we had fun, man. People in the chat were live and we were having a good time. So
yes. Do you like that everyone has called it the unhinged? Like we've adopted that one.
I like that.
Unhinged Saturday show. So Lady Alpha said she was with us. We didn't even notice. Maybe it's because we were having a couple sips there. So.
Yeah.
Yep, Alpha Pools, dancing before the show. See, yeah, Kyle's good people, man. We sent him a personal message, man. You know, obviously we love everybody that's joined us, but coming over from the Bama Standard and come and check us out, we really appreciate that too as well.
Yeah,
roll time. Yeah, we definitely got to hit you up and get some more NBA news and find the time to maybe get that out. Or you saw a little bit of it on Saturday night. Let me tell you one of the goofiest things I saw, and we're not going to go much into it because I'm not really watching, but Jimmy Butler came back to Miami tonight to play, right? And they were down big, like 17 points at halftime.
Okay.
One of the weirdest stat lines I've ever seen, every starter had 2 points exactly.
I haven't paid attention to that game. So
I just clicked over on it at halftime. I was like, dang, they're down by a lot. Steph Curry's not playing. Yeah, every starter had 2 points. They'd all hit one bucket, no threes, no free throws. It was one of the goofiest things I've ever seen.
Right now, Golden State's down 18, 78-60.
Yeah, so it's gotten 1 point worse.
Nope. And you're right. Nobody in Golden State has scored in double figures.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield has.
Yeah, Buddy Hield had 10, but I'm saying no, all 5 starters had exactly 2 points. I'd never seen that before. That's weird. So
that's weird.
You said the G-Day game was on April 12th. Game time's at 1. No television. Yeah, and I think a lot more are going to that. We saw that yesterday where Auburn has officially canceled their spring game in lieu of other things. So that's
and it's just going to be like an open practice.
Yeah, an open practice. Yeah. How did you feel about that? What was your first your thought when that came up?
Not surprised when you've seen the direction that other teams are taking or schools are taking their teams in as well. So not surprised at all. I think it's going to be common now. I guess we're still waiting to see what Alabama's going to do, but I think that's just how people want to do things right now. And some teams are worried about tampering and other people seeing their players. Personally, I feel like other schools already know who's good and who's hot on your team. You know, they can look at the recruiting. They can go on social media and get some news, and they can gather it up. They may not have seen them in person, but they know. They even looked at the high school too. So if they want to tamper with your players, nothing's going to stop that from happening.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
So canceling your A-Day game or modifying your A game is not going to prevent another school from reaching out to your players. It's still going to happen in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I agree. HerbnRodg have to do it. Or HerbnRodg unhinged. That might start making it out there.
We'll throw that into the hat and we'll shake it around and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's the one making the thumbnails and stuff like that. So, you know, that's send all suggestions to Big Mike and he will throw them together and we'll see what happens.
Right.
And no, I agree totally. I feel like you're going to have that movement regardless of what happens. But, you know, if that's what the coaches feel like they got to do, then that's what they feel like they got to do. So
agree.
We still don't know 100% know what Alabama is. We knew there was going to be a change, right? But we don't know.
Yeah, but I thought by now we would have found out
because hold on, All right, go ahead.
Wow. I
just love the surprised look on your face because you think it's something important, and then you're just like,
I knew it wasn't anything important. What I was saying was I thought by now they would have made another announcement as far as how they're going to change A-Day, but they haven't because the game's only, let's be honest, like 2 weekends away. So I would like to know something. Obviously, I'm not going to be there personally, but I would like to know what is going to happen. So I'll be hoping for you guys at the Bama Standard to provide us with some good content and kind of let us know what the experience was like. It is something that I plan on going to and attending in the future, though.
So, to Randy and Carol, since y'all the Georgia Bulldogs, do you guys ever see Georgia going away from the? I know in the past you said he's always going to have it, but do you still think that with the changing landscape, is that going to be the future still? Are they always going to have the G-Day game or what? Yeah, I'll be honest, Raj. We're going more because Bama Standard has really kind of sent out a sign like, hey, we want people here. Smoke, I think, is actually leading this on and saying, hey, I want, people there. We're going to have some content and stuff we're going to put out. So, that's I think one of the bigger reasons why me and Big Mike's still going, because otherwise I don't see myself wanting to travel. And I understand, look, the A-Day game is not like a big game. It is a glorified scrimmage. You take too much from it. Yes. Do we make? You said it last night. Snap judgments. Yes. Do we assume way too much? Yes. Remember, Ajayi Hall is going to be our next big wide receiver.
As he had a good A-Day several years ago, and then look how that panned out. I think he's in a school in California right now. Honestly, he's just been bouncing around the transfer portal and making some small news, I guess, via social media, but. To your point, I mean, just because you have a good A-Day game does not mean you're going to be the next big thing. But we'll get some stuff on social media, some pictures, some videos. Oh, such and such threw a great pass. He's going to be the starting quarterback. We don't know.
We don't know. We like to think we know, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute too. So, Herbie's always said movie target based on injuries and intent to have a full spring. Yeah, and I wish ours was the same. But the coaches are gunshot and everything. You're right about that. I kind of laughed when Rule from Nebraska said it. He admitted, I'm not having my spring game because people approach our players. And I was like, oh, okay. And now everybody else is doing it. They're just giving different reasons, but it's the same. So
same exact thing.
I like that part, Kat. We had more fun, I think, me and Big Mike walking around with everybody and meeting everybody and interacting. And we're trying to get Raj here in a couple of years when the kids are a little bit more grown up and to get around. That's what it is. Like you said, the practice is cool, but it is the interaction with everybody and kind of having
exactly.
So, that's what I feel about it, but it's an outside view, so that's why I kind of wanted your guys' thing. I didn't know that you thought that. I don't think we had talked about spring game. In a minute. Yeah, Randy, I'm looking at my text message to see how often Randy responds to this. Man, man's been busy. It's not like it used to be. I miss you, Randy. I miss you, man. So.
We do miss you, Randy.
Ohio State, I thought they changed it to skills. I thought Ohio State already announced theirs. So, I don't think that they're having a traditional one. And honestly, I think this is the only reason why he had it last year, and maybe he's got a little bit more. But yeah, he's finding out full blown how many people get their fingers into the program.
Yeah, and I think that DeBoer couldn't come in last year and be like, yeah, we're going to change A-Day in year one. Alabama fans would have blasted him.
Yeah,
we're not having that in Tuscaloosa. So this year, a little more control, I guess, of the program or whatever the case may be. So they're going to follow suit. And of course, he already said there's going to be modifications, but to Herb and I still don't know what exactly will be modified.
Put my world domination on. When you conquer the world, I don't want like even a state or like a country. I just want a town. I feel like that's like, you see, would you
name it Herbville?
Huh?
Would you rename that town Herbville?
No, because then that sends a sign out to everybody that you're in charge and people come after you. So whatever the town is, I'm gonna leave it the same. I just want
Rogeville.
Yeah. See, I know that there's a Rogeville, I'm taking that place down. Sabotage and everything, buddy.
Burn it.
Yeah, burn it. They're like, why? He's not even bothering you. I don't care.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that's why I don't. Whenever people do those world domination things, I'm like, bro, that's a lot of work. To control everything. I don't want the United States. I just want my own town where I can like wake up every morning. Everything for me is free. I walk through it, and I get all the money from it.
If you have your own town, there's going to be jealous people in your town looking at you getting everything for free, looking at you getting somewhat worshipped.
I will crush them with an iron fist. So really, I'll just stick my wife on them. She's the one.
Who is this Brittany Ragsdale? Who is that?
Well, she's sending a heart to me. What?
Oh, I said, who is Brittany Ragsdale?
Brittany? So you guys have never met?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Exactly. Herb lives nowhere. Yeah. Where's his town? Nowhere. Oh, dang it.
Nowhere.
So that's what it is. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Carol says she's cheering on. Randy, what's the first sport you get rid of when you take over the entire world? You've made somebody unhappy.
Oh, sorry, Brittany. I am going to call her that, though, just for the heck of it. Just do a traditional spring game. Okay.
Yeah. I thought they were one of the ones that had announced not, so maybe I was just wrong on that one.
It was Texas, I think. USC, Texas. I thought Ohio State was up there, too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he said they want to, so, yeah. I guess maybe he's announced not because now all the stuff says now that they are. So I think that what it was, what we read before was they said no, and now they've changed their minds and come back. So
gotcha.
He said golf. I thought that was like where the business deals were made.
It is.
Yeah, Lady Alpha, that's what I think.
I wouldn't get rid of golf. I would still leave that there.
Well, okay, Raj, we'll let you at the end of the show. One of your questions, I didn't have it on her, but now when you take over the world, what's the first sport you get rid of? We'll answer that one
at the end of the show.
Yeah,
okay.
So, Raj, I plan on doing this in our second segment, but this football lead-in has been pretty good. So we'll ask you a couple football questions first. Okay.
Okay.
Are you tired yet, or is it still exciting to you hearing about Alabama's QB battle?
Still somewhat exciting because it's exciting to me because it's still letting me know that there is somewhat of a QB battle and that all three quarterbacks are still doing good. Yeah, that's pretty good. All three quarterbacks are still doing good in spring practice. So I don't mind hearing about that. Ask me 1 or 2 months from now, then the answer may be different, but I don't mind hearing the buzz on social media and seeing things on Twitter. So I'm perfectly fine with it. I already have my order in which I think it will land come fall.
You have an order?
An actual real order, yeah.
That has never happened on the show.
I think it's going to be Ty. Keelan Russell is going to be a very close.
So you think Ty is going to win the job?
I do think he's going to win. But keep in mind, I haven't seen.
This is perfect time for this, huh?
And I've already stated my reason. It was about a month ago I stated my reason why. Okay, let's do it. Oh, God.
You don't seem so excited, Raj.
He got me, Mike. He got me. I fell right into that stupid trap. I swear you practice this all day.
Here's the thing, though, Raj. I don't plan the debate, I don't pick the subject, and I let you pick the side you want first.
What you do when you go fishing like that, you plan this out throughout the day. You're like, I know my brother. I know what he's going to say. And after he says this, I'm going to put this big-ass smile on my face and just reel him on in.
I feel hurt that you think this is calculated.
Let's get it over with. God.
Okay, go ahead. Bring in your.
Hold on. Shout out to Bo. Bo, thank you for joining us. We know you have a busy schedule. Multi-billionaire Bo is in the building. We appreciate you. Okay. And it better not be Bo on the video either.
No. First off, there's no video. Okay, we're gonna get a third-party independent judge. Yeesh. Go ahead. You're first.
I mean, what
ban calling all non-sports and calling animals
athletes. Oh my gosh!
Bring it on.
What you want to give the topic out again, or just what?
Yes. Okay. So we're going to debate who's going to win Alabama's QB job. As always, Raj feels like this is rigged, so I'm letting him know he picked the topic and he gets to pick the subject. I just have to argue with whoever he doesn't pick.
Before we get started, I have a question for Big Mike. Big Mike. Do you think these debates are rigged? Yes or no? Okay. I think Ty Simpson is going to win the starting quarterback battle. He has the most experience. He's looked somewhat decent in the backup play that he's gotten over the past 2 years, whatever the case may be. And I've also said this: even if Ty wins, Keelan Russell is going to be the starting 2. And this might go to your lean towards what you're going to say anyway, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you have someone coming in who's like the Texas High School State Player of the Year, one of the I guess he was the number 2 quarterback, maybe right under Bryce Wood, depending on how you rank it. You have to let him play. You have to give him some playing time. And if you look at the first 3 or 4 or the first 3 games that we have, Keelan Russell will get in the game anyway. But I think Ty, with his experience and knowing the program and being there the longest, he's going to get the starting position. And I just don't think he's going to lose it. So I'm going to go with Ty, Keelan Russell. Then, I mean, you've heard good things about Austin Mack. I just don't think we've heard enough about him yet to kind of get him over that hump. And then the big question, obviously, if he slides in that third, what does he do? Does he want to transfer or whatever? But we'll face that when that time comes.
So those are your points on Ty. Those are good points on Ty, Rod. So I
No,
won't,
they're not.
I won't say that.
That's so sarcastic.
Those
are your points on Ty. Those are great points, Rod. You are
there's such hate going on tonight. So sad.
All right, go ahead.
So the thing about Ty is, we're like, well, he's just the last man standing, and he's been there so long, right? But as bad as our quarterback play was last year, he was never good enough to break through and get a start. So that's what leads me to think, okay, his ceiling is a lot lower. I think his floor is high, but his ceiling is a lot lower, right? But I think with this staff, go ahead. What is it?
Are you
dazzled already?
No. I just think there were a few games. I'm still confused on why there were a few games last year when Ty could have played, but he just didn't. Yeah. One being the ReliaQuest Bowl. At that point, we literally had nothing else to lose. I mean, we weren't in the playoff anyway, so at least we could kind of salvage the game. The Oklahoma game, I wonder if you put Ty in after halftime, does that go differently? Does some of the play calling adjust a little bit? But that's just a big question mark. Sorry.
Yeah. I think back then they want him, and now he's hot, and they all want him. All right, so I think that's one thing, the fact that Ty couldn't get out there last year, and so we're kind of just saying you're the last man standing since everyone left. B, this coaching staff knows that they have to make a splash this year. They have to have. I'm saying 10-2, or you're getting fired. Okay, regular season record.
Oh wow.
Keelan Russell represents more upside, more splash play, more. You have to game plan more against him versus Ty, who might be more of a game manager, which I fully admit that this team might need that. But I think if they're going for excitement and going for somebody who has a bigger upside and wanting to keep him around for the future, you're going with Keelan Russell. So I like what you're saying, but I'm going with Keelan Russell.
Who do you think is the better dual threat quarterback?
Oh, Keelan Russell by far.
Okay.
Ty was running just enough to show you he could. Yeah. Keelan can take off and still zip that thing, Raj. He can still zip that thing. So all right. Ty, I think, is going to do one or the other for you. So is that it? Is that
yeah, I'm not gonna entertain this anymore.
That's so mean, Raj. All right.
You have to click on a few buttons.
Everybody, Big Mike here to be the judge this week.
Oh my God.
I mean, you guys both made really good points, both made really great arguments, and I am, as Herb says all the time, I am the president of the RFC. So I'm gonna have to go with sorry, hold on. Hello? Yeah. I'm sorry, how much? Okay, bet. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Herb. You just had the better arguments, man. You made the greater points. So congratulations, Herb. You're the winner of this week's debate, and great job.
Man.
Mike was the president of my fan club. And you
RFC's wrong, baby. Hold on. Wait. We gotta check. Still in the lead. Doing a good job there, Herb. Doing a good job.
Mike, I love you, man. But I'm gonna have to take that title away from you. You are no longer the president of my fan club. You don't need to respond to emails. You don't have to get my coffee anymore. No, just forget it, man. I still love you, but you can move over to the HFC now. Mike is now the true president of the Herb fan club. Anybody else want to audition, just email me at somewhere and we'll figure it out. Mike let me down. I'm glad this is amusing to you.
Look. So you asked Mike earlier, right? He thinks that 1,000% fair and balanced, right? Bo said it. It sounded above board.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Completely not. I mean,
okay. Hey, you
we
win.
appreciate you, Kyle.
We appreciate you, Kyle.
One of these days when we take a break in this spot, we're gonna put out one of our older shows. I'm gonna play the first debate ever when we can see who that first judge was.
We need to pull out the first debate, and then even some of the older videos that we have on YouTube that just like even before we had podcasts and we were just doing like goofy stuff.
They're gonna apply for the job.
Well, Carol, thank you very much. We appreciate you. If you want to still apply for the fan club, I'll consider your application. Or even if you want to leave the Dogs and want to become a Crimson Tide member, we have applications for that too. You just let me know. Randy, I'm not trying to step on your toes, but I'm just saying, Carol, the invitation's there.
Randy's actually picked you 2-0 over me, so he might be a good person for your fan club as well. So. And Randy, I had to go double check this because we started the show with $2.99. Well, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I just haven't pulled up.
Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate that. No, I missed that. We started the show with $2.99. So somewhere along the way, somebody said, "You know what? These guys aren't all terrible."
Oh, we got it. Yes, appreciate everybody's support.
That means extra celebrations on Saturday night.
Oh, extra! Oh, Lord. Well, it depends on when we play. It depends on the game.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. And if we play, so we'll get into that here in a minute. So this is always an interesting one, because the offense was so bad. Yeah. I feel like Sheridan gets a little more hate than he should. But I said this when they got Grubb back: if Sheridan was doing a good job, they wouldn't have gone after Grubb. So go ahead, Rush.
No, and I think this goes back to how I mentioned that the Oklahoma game may have been different as far as play calling and stuff if they put Ty Simpson in. And this is a discussion that I think had at a Bama Standard one time when people were talking about, was it Milroe's fault or the play calling's fault? And for me, it's always like a 50-50 type thing. Obviously, the coordinator, gives the plays out, but somebody has to execute these plays. And even if you're the quarterback, pre-snap, you have to be able to evaluate the defense and how they're set up and saying, listen, I know what play is called, but that play is probably not going to work. We've already thrown 2 interceptions on that same play. Maybe we should make some adjustments. So I say it's 50-50 to Kyle's point, though. That is a good point he put out, though.
Yeah.
The Michigan game, we just played so bad. I just felt like, again, like, dude, just put somebody else in. Let's just see what Ty can do. Maybe he can bring us in and win this game, and then going into the offseason, we can look at him in a better point of view. But right now, we really have no idea.
We said this before the game, though. So not even how bad the game went or how good, whatever it went. We said that Ty should be playing in that game, period.
Yep.
Because you need to see, as a coaching staff, you need to see what you have next year.
Exactly.
So I would have done similar what they did with Ward at Miami, let him play the first half and then, let Ty play the second half. But as the planned, hey, I want to see who my quarterback is for next year.
Yep.
So I would have done something different. Ty would have got some play time in that game. And then as bad as it was going, what'd you have to lose at that point? I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. You're already out of the playoffs. So, I mean, if you lose the game, you lose the game. At least you get to see what you have going into the offseason. So,
So I think you're saying that with Sheridan's game to say, yeah. So, I don't. Yeah, it was just bad. The whole thing was just bad.
It was. And Michigan, the gang is going into that game. Michigan's offense and defense was so beat up. They were missing so many starters.
That was the other thing.
I was like, how are we going to lose this game? So
their offense was terrible in that game. They started on our side of the field all the time and still only got like 16 points. So it was our defense stepped up. Their offense was terrible, and we just kept handing the ball. We would have been better in the first half if we had punted on first down. That would have been a better score for us than running at some point. So let me see. Carol said, and we did miss somewhere in there. Carol, if we did miss your birthday, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Carol. We sorry we missed that, but happy belated. Yes, of course.
Yep. And thank you, Kat. Kat's been one of our supporters from the beginning and helped push us towards that 300. So we got a little lax, I think, after we hit 200.
We did.
We need to make that push to 5.
Well, yeah, next push is 5, and then we'll see what we could do before football season. So we got a couple more months, and again, we're going to keep on putting out content. as much as we can. Just trying to see what you guys like, and if in the comments, if there's stuff you want to see us do that we haven't done or talk about, just let us know.
Agree. Oh, because that's another thing. We're going to put out a poll soon. Our summer series is going to be starting up in a couple months. We invite other teams on. So we're going to be interested in seeing what other teams you guys want out there, what other teams you'd be interested in hearing from, and we're going to go after them. So
last year we did Colorado, we did USC, we did Notre Dame.
I always hesitate to mention because if I don't mention somebody, am I a scoundrel? Like what?
Michigan, we did Michigan.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so we did those 4. I might be missing one, but we did a number of teams.
No, because we did a lot more. Because LSU was the one that kicked it off. You had there too as well. Oregon. Yep. Did you say USC? Was that one of your 4?
I already said USC. Yep. So
Georgia we always count because we always check in with Randy. And we had a couple of different specials. Yep. Yeah. Ohio State was mixed in there, so we've got a lot of teams. And Texas had half a show. We're still trying to get a Texas person to commit for the whole show, but. No, we got a lot of teams we want to go after for next year.
Let us know some schools out there that you guys want to hear their perspective on. So just
yep. And like I said, we'll be putting out a poll in the next week too as well, so everybody can check it out. So
this is what Kat.
Go ahead.
Kat, this is one that Herb and I have already discussed. What did you say?
He does.
That? He does. Okay, yeah. So that would be
he does, but he does another show at this exact time right now. That's the only reason why we haven't had him on.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, Daniel Petty's he's on the Bama Standard Network. I guess he started school when he was in school going to Ole Miss, right? Or
I think he went to Bama. He's from Ole Miss, but he went to Bama.
Okay. So I guess he could count as Ole Miss. So
yeah. No, we've already extended that invite, so we're just trying to figure out a time to make that work.
Yep.
If we can't, because he does have a commitment on Tuesday, it might just be another night, or maybe he'll drop in on a Saturday show instead. But he's definitely on the list.
Yeah,
I think this is in regard to the next year and the quarterback battle and everything. So,
are you stressing?
Can you fire him? Huh?
Are you stressing about it?
I want to know.
Yeah,
not that it matters, I guess, either way. I mean, one of our best seasons, Jalen Hurts wasn't our starting quarterback, and he won the job. So maybe it doesn't matter, but. Yeah. It's all we have to latch on to right now when it comes to your football season. And when you've ended the year on such a disappointing note, you want to erase that as soon as possible. So, I'm ready to see what we have. That's why 8A game is like a little nugget they throwing out there.
Exactly.
I want to see what happens. So, he said he started the RFC as someone. He also said he have a sudden influx of cash, which I have no idea.
Okay, but I'm not a factor. Mike, hey, I completely understand. If some money was thrown my way, I would turn too. So it is what it is. Mike just pulled a John Cena on me.
Oh man,
oh my God.
He did.
Oh my gosh.
At least you didn't get beat up though. So.
That's true.
He said he's running amok. I don't remember if you were around before.
I don't know. I feel like Randy came in after the 100, but I honestly don't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. She said May 6th is her birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're looking for a football commitment on this. Okay. I'm trying to remember that. So, and hoping my Huskies can build on last season. I do too. So that was an interesting one because we both thought that they were going to have a terrible season and maybe even miss a bowl. And they got up there. So, but that's a team I don't mind rooting for at all. So that's a good too. So. College basketball transfer portal opened yesterday, so that's going to be interesting. You mentioned Pringle got in there. Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah,
we're going to take one quick little glance at the schedule, but we'll go on. We'll go on this because we've already gotten a little bit more into the show than I was thinking. We'll go into this later. We will say this, folks: we are going to Florida State.
Yep, we'll be there.
We've already got the place booked. We're going to that game. I am going to try to get to Georgia. Don't know if I'll be able to afford to get into the game, but I'm at least want to get out there and experience that atmosphere for sure. And then we'll probably pick a couple random home games and maybe try to get to me, Raj, and Mike, or if Raj can't get over, just me and Mike. So we'll just see how that goes. But that's your quick look at the schedule. I had that ready, but we kind of got further in, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
You ready to Randy might log off on us, but we got to talk a little bit of basketball.
Okay,
Sorry,
let's
Randy.
do it.
I'm sorry. Sad note first, man. Juju Watkins goes down yesterday. Torn ACL.
I didn't see it when it happened. I mean, I saw the replays, of course, and stuff on YouTube, but I didn't see it when it happened because when I turned to the game, She just wasn't playing, and then they started talking about the injury, and I was hoping that maybe it was just a bad ankle sprain, but then I saw it, I was like, oh crap! And you could tell the way she was holding her knee when she went down. You knew that was something bad. Hate it for her. They were going to make a really, really deep run in the tournament this year, but with that happening, I mean, obviously she's probably going to miss the beginning of next season too. So
yeah,
and a great player. She could go to the WNBA draft. I mean, obviously this year she wanted to, but hate to see that happen.
Yep. And especially with the void with Caitlin Clark leaving. You're looking for some stars to help fill that. She was one of those. They got a number 1 seed in the tournament. Bested by UCLA, of course, but you were just hoping for good things. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, and not just stars, but more superstars. You were seeing Juju Watkins in the Nike ad and the commercials and stuff too. So she was like that next big superstar, and she still can be. Let's get that straight. But with that injury, she's going to derail things for them a little bit. Hate to see it happen again. Hope she gets well.
Yeah, so definitely hate that for her.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, I'm gonna check it out. I want to go there for the atmosphere for sure. So no matter if I can get in to watch it, I'm gonna get over there. And if I can track Randy down before after the game, say what's up to him.
Oh yeah.
So, and Carol said she says her cousin, but Carol really means she played because I've heard Carol can sing. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So yes, good job. All right. That was it. Did you even know the NIT was on? Do you remember the days when the NIT seemed like a little bit more prestigious? And
it was a little more entertaining. But I honestly I have not watched the NIT game this year, and I probably won't watch the NIT. No. And there's also the CBI too, right? Is that still going on?
There's like 3 tournaments, but yes, the CBI is also out there too as well.
So let me ask you this: if you're a college basketball head coach, you don't make the NCAA. Are you playing in any of these other?
I'm going.
Okay.
I want every game possible.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the bowl games that you're seeing these days. Like, if my seniors or my guys on the team want to play in that game, that's great.
That's what I was going to say.
If they're like, hey, I'm leaving anyway, I'm playing every guy that's staying around. I'm getting them game experience. I'm finishing
what they can do.
Year. I mean, the biggest thing, Raj, is my year ended. I didn't make the tournament, right? Don't I want to end on a positive note somehow? I'm going to play every single game I can. And I'm taking whatever team members of the team want to play.
Yep.
Like this year, if this team hadn't made it and it was like, Phylon was staying, Holloway was staying, and Mallet, who's injured, I think, a lot, but if he's out there, I'm playing all those guys all the time. I'm telling Sears and Grant, like, hey, if you guys don't want to play, that's cool. There's no hard feelings. Y'all gave a lot to university. I'm going to play the guys. We're going to be here next year. We'll honor you at every game because y'all did a lot for Bama basketball. But going from here on, I'll just play whoever wants. But I want more games. And why not finish your season strong? So.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm. But one of the questions was almost our debate, Raj. If Alabama loses this next game, and ends here, is this season a bigger disappointment, or is the Brandon Miller season a bigger disappointment?
I still have to say the Brandon Miller season was the bigger disappointment because, and again, this is my personal opinion, I just felt like that team was one of the best teams we ever had at the University of Alabama, and the way we lost to San Diego State in that game. It just made me feel bad, but because again, Brandon Miller was like 3 for 17 shooting, and we shouldn't have gone out that way. And I thought that team in 2023 could have won the whole thing. This year's team, I still think we have a good chance to go all the way. But once we win Thursday night, or if we win Thursday night, whatever you put it, we're most likely going to face Duke Saturday. That's going to be a tough game, regardless of how you look at it. So that's going to be a tough out. That's going to be by far the toughest game we played all year. I'm
wondering if we do win that one. We do win the first one, and we're gonna have to try and slide in a preview show, especially if it's Duke. But that's getting way ahead of myself, and I don't want to. I don't want to talk about that.
Let's get past BYU first.
Yep. I just think everyone's specified for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think this part of erasing the hurt from the Brandon Miller one is because we got to the Final Four last year. And now we started at a better place this year. So I feel like the expectations now are like you got to get farther. Yep. Once you get one, everybody wants more. So you can't eat just one round. It's like a Pringles. But speaking of Pringle, didn't he go into
Nick Pringle is back in the transfer portal. Remember, he was at Alabama, then he went to South Carolina. They had a pretty bad year. So now he's back in the transfer portal. And I think me, you, and Mike were texting the group to see if Bama would want him back or something. I don't think so. I think they kind of filled his shoes. They got Cheryl and Reed, the two McDonald's All-Americans, to kind of fill his shoes. So I think he's good. And I hate to say it's funny, but it's sometimes the grass isn't always greener when you leave Alabama, or whenever you leave a school, you go somewhere else. You think you're going to get maybe more playing time, boost your career, whatever. It doesn't always necessarily work out that way, and so we'll see what he does next. I do think it's interesting how there are players. Justin Pippen, for example, he's a guard for Michigan. Scottie Pippen's youngest son, I think. He's a guard for Michigan. I think he's entering the transfer portal. Keep in mind, Michigan plays Auburn. Was it Thursday or Friday? Is it Thursday?
I think they're Friday. Aren't they Friday?
I forget what day, but their team is still in.
Yeah, Casadi's going to it. Yeah. Friday.
Yeah. So that I always find that interesting when you would even for that rumor to even get out, something had to have happened on his end. So why would you even think about talking about that when your team is still in the tournament?
Yeah.
I don't.
And you're talking about Monday to Friday. You're going to tell me 5 days makes all the difference in the world? For you to get in now, you have to just hate your team.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Well, he's only averaging like 1.6 points a game, which obviously he's not doing much, but still.
I get that. Yeah. But if Michigan, let's say Michigan wins the whole thing, I'm along for that ride.
Yep.
Even if I'm not playing, I have a championship ring. I can say I put in the work for the whole year. Yep. Like, forget all that. So,
and how do your teammates cheat you? If they know you're in the portal, they're kind of like, "Hey, what's up, man? Yeah,
I steal everything from your locker. I take your shoes. I take your shoelaces. Like, I don't talk to you. I give you a terrible nickname. Like, hey, butt munch. Like,
if you see him get on the bus, you're like, no, this the team bus is going to the arena. You gotta get an Uber, bro. Yeah.
Basically, I'll take your bag and toss it off there. Like, bro, you're dead to me. So this is I don't get that either, man. I would want to play every chance. Now I'll say this: like the guys who are going NFL, going NBA, if they want to skip and they think they're protecting their future, that's fine. But everybody else or every coach or whatever, I'm trying to get in every game. Man, Raj knew that kind of person I was. I would not skip anything ever. So I don't get that. Cat says Pringle. So that was the thing. He was like I was trying to think of the name, Meta World Peace, Ron Artest. That's the kind of person he was. Good when he was on, but also liable to punch a reporter, or a cameraman at the next thing. So you just never knew what you were getting. So
he was likable. I just don't know if there's room for him right now. As long as Cheryl and Reed stay, I think we're going to be fine there. So
and she said, in Corey Chess, the dude from this is the one I saw too.
Eagle Staff. He averaged.
Are we going after him because of his name or because he's a good player?
Well, one reason is because he put up 40 against Bama early in the season.
That's what she said.
He's a 36% 3-point shooter, average about 18 points per game. So, he kind of fits the NATO system. So I see why we were going after him. And we're going to have to find some big men to replace Cliff and Grant Nelson too. So that's going to be a huge need.
Yep. What do you think about this little leap Cliff has taken since we started the tournament?
I think he started to peak at the right time. I think we finally realized that Cliff does not have Hakeem Olajuwon post moves, so we have to
zero. Zero
post move, but we have to find a way to just give him the ball near the rim and throw those alley-oops because he's big enough to catch those. So I think it's worked out perfectly with him. I think his first he went started off the tournament 13 for 13 or something like that. Yeah. Keep in mind they're all alley-oops, so you can't really miss those. But he's working perfectly for our system. He can give a few rebounds, a few blocks along with those 10, 15 points. And I always feel like if you're 6'10 to 6'11, you should be averaging at least 8 and 8 a game, if not 10 and 8.
Easy. Like by accident, you should get 8 rebounds. They should kind of just fall near you, and you should get it. So I think he's a good compliment to Grant, just having that type of front court. You got the big man that's going to stay down there, and then you have the stretch 4 and Grant Nelson. So they work well with each other. And again, Cliff is peaking at the right time. Yeah. I also think, Raj, and you'll like this because of the Luka kind of thing. I think the more that Phylon is in, because he clearly does not care to ever shoot the ball. Yeah. But Phylon gets to the basket and he likes to have a little lob threat, and that's what Cliff gets. I think Phylon had like 6 or 7 assists in one game, like 6 of them were to Cliff. And I think that's where Cliff's eating. I think they're literally like, hey man, just be near the basket and we'll get you the ball.
Yep.
So I think that's a lot of it too. So just score. We have talked about this a lot. I know it's an NFL thing, but Pickens and Metcalf on the same team is already crazy. And then if they add Aaron Rodgers to the mix, somebody's getting punched.
I feel like Pickens is a little more loose than Metcalf, though. Pickens just seems like he just pisses off everybody.
Pickens
that would
makes
be
everybody mad. DK is a little bit more focused mad,
yeah.
but they're both angry people. So
if
wait
Aaron
till
Rodgers
Rodgers.
was actually on that team, oh my gosh, that would be.
Well, wait till
that
he
locker
throws
room-
them both under the bus for something that he did wrong.
Yep.
So that's gonna be
I
my
threw the
favorite.
ball. I mean, DK is supposed to be there. That's the route. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, okay, dude, thanks.
He said, Cheryl, dude, what's up, Anthony? Good to have you
Good
on
evening,
here,
Anthony.
man.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough work yet, though. I think that's probably part of it. But
it depends on the game of how we
game.
work him and read into the game, because they really don't get too many minutes. But it really just depends on how things are going. Like when we played Robert Morris, they were more of a fast-paced team, so we needed our shorter team out there. But when we played St. Mary's, that may have been the slowest team we played.
So we talked about this again last
night.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit on kind of Bama Standard on Sunday about the Bama game. So if anybody was on that network, you got to see more stuff. Raj and I with Sadie kind of talked about the Bama game. So that's why we're not going in depth on it tonight.
Yeah.
Please check out that video if you want to see. But Raj, let's be honest what we said about that St. Mary's game. One of the most boring games.
That was one of the more uneventful games of the tournament. I haven't watched every single game of the tournament, but out of the games I watched, that was very, very uneventful. St. Mary's offense was very slow, didn't really move the ball around. It's kind of like, let's just give it to the guy on the post and let's just watch him pivot until he can put up a shot and see if he makes it. That's really it. And then we would try to come down with our fast pace. And whenever we missed and they got the rebound, I was like, oh, here we go with this again. So I was at a point where I was a little nervous because I wanted us to win, but I felt like if we could maintain a 7 to 8 point lead or anything above that, then we're good because they're just not going to shoot their way back into it. And they didn't start shooting threes till the second half.
Yeah,
really.
That honestly, Raj, when we got up 10, I thought the game was over. They never pushed the pace. I mean, I told you the first half stats that I thought if I just read the stats, it was terrible. We had no fast break points. We had 8 turnovers. They had none. Mark Sears had 2 fouls, and he had 4 points, 2 for 7 shooting. Like all these stats I'm giving you, like, dang, how bad was the game? We were up 13.
Yeah.
And the announcer in the second half was like, I mean, St. Mary's, at some point, you're going to have to push the pace because you can't.
Yeah.
How else are you? And they play that slow, plodding style. And, you know, we were like, okay, we'll get the rebound. We'll try and run a little. We're not going to get a fast break. Okay, we'll just out athleticism these guys. And I feel bad for anybody else watching.
We won by 14, but I feel like we should have won that game by at least 20 plus, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We just didn't have enough possessions to get to 20.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was because they were so slow and deliberate. But even at the point where they hit a couple threes and we were only hitting 2s, it's like they didn't make any traction at all because they hit a 3 and then nothing for the next minute or so. So that was a game I was just never, ever worried about. So, the next game, though, we talked before the tournament about possible landmines.
Yes.
And we were on the show where we were talking about it, and BYU was always one of mine when I looked at this bracket.
Yes. Mine was Wisconsin because I had Wisconsin beating BYU, but I could have saw it going either way, and obviously BYU won the game. So with that being said, why is BYU why was they one of your possible landmines?
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes it's like the extra accoutrements they wear into the court that kind of scare you off because they're the religious attire and you get a little scared, like, am I offending somebody by doing this? But because they score, let's just be honest. High flying offenses, they're getting hot sort of towards the end of the year. That also helped. I know they didn't win the Big 12 tournament, but they were playing a lot better towards the end of the year. And they're a team like the exact opposite of what we just played. If we're up 10 on BYU, that lead can disappear in a minute. And you see how it is. They took down Wisconsin. They scored 91 points in that game. Yep. Teams that shoot the 3 ball really, really well are because that's all you get 1 or 2 of those guys hot, and it seems like every year that's the guy who carries you the tournament. Guys been averaging like 10 points all year.
We haven't been shooting the ball that great from 3-point range these first 2 games. And against St. Mary's, we didn't really have to because they just played so slow. Robert Morris, we didn't do so well. But this is one of those games where we can't have 11 turnovers like we get against St. Mary's. We can't do that. We're gonna have to. Our guards are really gonna have to step up and let it go.
Yeah. Well, Philon hasn't been shooting, so that's one. But do you think Sears breaks out of his slump? Like, it's been awful the last few games.
I think so. I saw a stat where
you think so, or you hope so.
Hope so.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
Because he had some good looks against St. Mary's, but he's just just missing everything. And I saw a stat where I think he's like he's only hit like 4 threes in the tournament so far. So I'm hoping he lights up. He can get 4 or 5 this next game. And then get Holloway off the bench and let him go and rip and run too. But this is going to be a fast-paced game, to Herb's point. We're going to have to play a really, really flawless game to kind of get by BYU. But I think it's going to happen, and then we should be playing Saturday night.
So he was, 0 for 4 against St. Mary's. And he had 1 against
Robert Morris?
Yeah, Robert Morris. Yeah. Is it weird that Robert Morris was the scarier game, even though you won by 9?
Yeah. But their style play, they played the ball. They played the game faster, and they attacked the rim a lot more than St. Mary's. So, but BYU is going to be by far the toughest test so far.
Yep. So, yes. Yeah. I agree. So I agree. Change if he changed something. Yeah, I just haven't seen a slump like this. I rushed 1 for 9 and your 2 3-pointers in this last game. That's just. It's not what you expect. And you can get by, shows kind of your depth, and we can get by these other 2 teams, but we can't get by BYU with him shooting like that.
Right.
And to Rodg's point, they're good looks. He's not jacking up super long threes like we usually do. These are good looks. So I don't know. What's your predicted line for him, Rod? Do you want to bust the slump?
For Sears?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 18 points. 3 threes. 3 threes, 18 points. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and Alabama wins. I'll add in 6 assists. What now?
Alabama wins?
Alabama wins. Alabama wins by 4.
What do you think about Smoke's comment that Nelson is more important to the success of the team than Sears?
Did he say just for this tournament or just overall season?
He said with a healthy Nelson, they can possibly go all the way. He did not say Nelson is their best team. He said Nelson is more important.
I think he makes a valid point defensively and offensively. Well, more defensively because of he's our leading shot blocker. But offensively, Nelson can still add in 10 to 12 points a game. So I think he makes a valid point. When Sears is having a bad night, we used to be able to count on Philon and Holloway to kind of carry his load. It's hard to say that now because Philon really hasn't done much this tournament. Holloway did something. He gave us a few points for St. Mary's. So I guess for the tournament, I would say yes. And plus, when we saw what Grant Nelson did in his 7 minutes against Robert Morris.
Yeah.
If he didn't come off the bench, if he didn't play in that Robert Morris game, the ending could have been differently. So he came in, gave immediate impact, had a steal right away, had like 5 points and 3 rebounds, and I want to say he had a steal on the block as well. So
both Mike and Kat are both on it.
Yep.
So both of them got making the same point. So very good points on both of those. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't argue with him when he said it. Like Nelson does kind of hold it together. Having said that, I don't know that we can win if Sears goes 1 for 5 from 3.
I don't. But, I think we need Sears on fire Thursday night.
And like Mike says, BYU is not a good defensive team. So it's there for the taking, Rod. What's your official prediction on the game?
Score-wise, I'm going to go with 93. No. I don't think we get to the 90s. I'm going to say
no, we're getting to the 90s. We're getting to the 90s.
I'm going to say 88-84.
Raj, we're getting to the 90s.
88-84 is
my
prediction. Okay. Then you give me your prediction.
91.5 to 84.
Oh God. How do you get half a point?
I mean, they have a free throw that kind of goes in and out, and the ref's like,
I'm gonna go 88-84. Herb, what are you picking?
91-84.
Okay. I like that.
We'll give BYU. No, I can't have 91-83 and 7/8. So there you go.
Oh my God.
Yep. And I agree, Kat. I'd love to see us push 100. I think there's going to be an excellent chance at it.
Yeah.
So, any other games intrigue you, like quick hitters? Any of the other games that you – tell everybody how badly our brackets are.
So Herb and I are in a bracket with 28 people total. Herb and I are tied for 24th right now. Now that will be adjusted because there's somebody that's in tied for 6th place right now. They picked St. John's to win the whole thing. Obviously, St. John's lost, so that's not going to happen. Somebody else picked. I already took it down. Somebody else picked Kentucky to win the whole thing. Obviously, they play Tennessee, so they technically they still have a chance to win the whole thing. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll move up. But as far as winning the whole thing, I think that shot is gone.
Yeah,
we're hosting the thing, and we're damn near last. Basically, to sum it up. So this is something Herb did not rig. He won in fantasy football. He wins all the debates. This is what he chose not to rig.
Oh, so I only win if I rig?
Basically.
Raj, the president of the RFC was a judge. I couldn't rig that.
He's no longer the president.
Wow. Kentucky, that's a choice. Yeah. I
That's
mean,
a
they
choice.
can score on anybody. They somehow look like they play worse defense than ours do. There's zero effort on that end.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right, Raj, we're at the end of the show tonight. But we have like more questions. Mike said he's also in 24th. So the whole family's in 24th. So
isn't that funny? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's like 4 people. There's one other person that's in 24th. They picked Tennessee to win the whole thing, but we're at the bottom. We're at the very bottom.
All the Ragsdale brothers are in 24th. All right, Rod. We had a question from tonight. Top 5 sports that you would get rid of if you dominated the world. So what you getting rid of?
Lacrosse. I don't care if Tyler Buckner just won a national title. I don't care. I'm not a big lacrosse fan.
What
I don't
lacrosse
like
do to you?
watching lacrosse. It ain't for me. I was gonna say cricket, but cricket is like the most globally watched sport, or however you want to classify it. So I'll leave cricket alone. I don't like baseball, but baseball's huge, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm running out of options now. Oh, there's one sport now I see it on ESPN. I don't know the name of it, but it's like you kick a ball on like a little trampoline, and you have to bounce it up in the air a few times, and you can slap. I think you can slap it down on a little trampoline too. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but you sound like you made up a sport, so you don't have to get rid of anything else.
I promise I didn't make it up. I have no idea what the name of that is. So lacrosse and that trampoline thing. 3 more sports. I like ping pong. I don't know. It's hard to think.
What about horseshoes?
Is that considered a sport? Horseshoes?
I don't know. I was just trying to throw you a bone here.
You know what? I'm gonna piss a lot of people off by saying this. NASCAR.
Actually, Randy's already with you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say NASCAR. I'm gonna leave golf. Herb and I don't play golf, but I think that's something that I would be interested in trying, though.
Yeah. You think it's called Omega Ball?
Omega Ball. It might be, but Mike knows what I'm talking about. I don't know what the name of that sport is. When you watch ESPN2 a lot of things just come up, and you're like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, revolutionizing the game of soccer.
Bowling. Let's agree on bowling. Okay, bowling is fun.
That's the favorite lazy day activity.
Bowling is fun when you're doing it with friends. I don't want to watch this on TV. I like the Peter Weber guy when he used to play because he used to talk trash.
Yes.
How do you even talk trash in bowling? That's funny.
I outbowled you. That's okay. You got bowled over, baby.
All right, one more sport. So I've got lacrosse, the Omega Ball, whatever you want to call it. I got NASCAR, bowling,
dodgeball.
And no, I love dodgeball. Dodgeball is something you love as a kid, and when you get older, this is pretty awesome. I don't know. I can't think of the last one.
I love watching cornhole on TV. It's awesome.
I like watching cornhole. That's pretty cool. And I feel like that's something when I watch it, I could compete in that if I practice hard enough.
I can throw that back.
Yeah. I'm good with those 4.
Those 4? All right. Sounds like a plan. Well, maybe I'll skip your other question because we're there. We'll give you one. We'll give you a work, play, live, ditch, though.
Okay.
Alabama basketball. She says something we used to do drunk when we were camping. See, that's why cornholes will always be a favorite for sure. All right, Raj. Alabama basketball edition. Mark Sears, Grant Nelson,
okay,
LeBaron Philon, Diabate.
Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna ditch.
Dang. Everyone always starts with ditch too. That's funny.
Well, that's the easiest one. I feel like I'm gonna ditch. Maybe Sears. Sears has too much going on right now.
The man's in a shooting slump, and you just gonna kick him out the door.
He needs to practice. He doesn't need to be out. He doesn't need to go to work. He doesn't need to go play. He doesn't need to be my neighbor. He needs to just go into the gym, lock himself in the gym, and shoot threes all day and all night. So I'm gonna ditch Sears.
Rod is cold-blooded.
I'm gonna hang out with Grant Nelson, kid from North Dakota, just a big old talk. I feel like we could get it. We could have some fun together. Just hang out.
You guys are gonna go ice fishing or something.
Hey, that's fine. Let's do it. I'm gonna hang out with Grant Nelson. I'm gonna work with Diabate. I love his work ethic on the court. He's one of my favorite players on the team. One of the best defensive players we have. And then my neighbor. How
often are you guys gonna go out and shoot threes?
I'm gonna go out and shoot threes with Diabate just so I can see his shooting form and joke with him. That's all. I'm just gonna tell him that your shooting form is horrible, but the ball goes in. You were like 2 for 2 against St. Mary's. Who's the last one I missed? Who's the last one?
Phylon?
Yeah, Phylon will be my neighbor. Young kid. We'll talk about his aspirations, his goals, and if he's my neighbor and he's going to the league, I'm like, hey, once you make it to the league, you gonna help me pay the HOA every year? Hey,
what, the HOA? That's what you're looking for? How much is your HOA?
It is like $140 per quarter.
No, ours is $100 for the whole year. I don't even know what they do.
Are you serious?
Yes, I pay $100 just to be left alone for the year.
Oh my gosh!
Here's $100. Don't bother me.
That's it? No, ours is $140 a quarter. We paid it off. We paid it for the rest of the year, but it's I don't get it. I know what an HOA is, but sometimes when you're paying them, you're like, what else you guys are gonna do in the neighborhood? Come on now, stop sending us these newsletters and stuff like that.
I think one person collects it and they buy themselves a big screen TV.
That's what I think.
There's no real HOA, but no. And Kat gives you Sears play Diabate looks like mess with us. Yeah,
that's true.
You know what she's saying? She's gonna go out with Terrion Arnold, but Mo D can just be their bodyguard. That's what she's basically saying. I get it. Live next to the stash and work with Phylon. Phylon looks like he has a good work ethic.
Yeah.
So, the boot of the neighborhood. You know,
I hate that.
We'd have to discuss Phylon's draft status next week.
Yes. We got to get him that.
You know, Carol. Next time Randy's on here, we'll give you a Georgia-based one, and you'll have fun with that one.
Yeah,
for sure. So appreciate everybody as always. We did have to make some last-minute changes, so we're glad that this came through. Hopefully, Alabama continues their run. Programming notes. What do we still got going this week? We've got a Bama versus the World coming up for you this week. Raj owes us a top 5 list.
Yes.
So we're gonna get that out this week. His favorite buzzer beaters. Saturday night is gonna happen. It's either gonna be a really happy show, or a really sad show.
And the timing of that show is going to be dependent on the Alabama game. Obviously, we're not going to do it during the game, so most likely after. So it'll be later on in the evening.
Yep. And I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Check out Big Mike, of course, on Thursday nights, and then we'll also be going hard to paint Thursday nights as well. So I think that's it for what we've got going on. Hopefully, there is 2 Bama versus the Worlds this week, but cross your fingers for that one. Appreciate everybody. Love you guys. As always, thank you for that.
Appreciate it, Carol. Thank y'all.
Thank you for that, Kat. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
And, thank y'all for getting us to 300. You know, we kind of slacked between this last little bit, so we're going to try and be pushing that on. Oh, Richard Pitino expected to be hired as Xavier coach. You already see the coaching carousel? We'll talk about that another time.
When you said Pitino, at first I thought Rick Pitino, but it's Richard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The one I think that was what he wasn't an Iona, was no, that's the other Pitino's at Iona.
Rick Pitino was at Iona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Appreciate you, Randy. Good to see you back, man. And just glad to
Randy,
see you back.
have a good night, man.
We know it's been rough for you, so
yeah.
Yep, we will be there as well. I think I have another overnight that night, so I'll be on the road again.
Randy, tell Alice, I think we already told her on Facebook, but tell Alice we said happy belated birthday. Hope she had a wonderful day with the family.
Yes, for sure.
As Randy likes
to
call
y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. We appreciate you always, and roll Tide.
Roll Tide.